those hard days. I just wanted to help people that maybe are going through a hard time and just having a real hard day with everything. Okay, maybe you're going through a breakup. Maybe you're just a person that's been lonely for a very long time. Maybe you're struggling as a single parent. Maybe you're older and spending your golden years alone. Maybe you just went through a divorce. Maybe you're grieving the death or the loss of somebody. Whatever you're going through, this message is going to help you on those hard days. We're going to see what's going to happen. Hi, everybody. So a lot of the reason you're having these hard days, it looks like you're feeling very alone. 2 of Cups in the reverse. You don't have anyone to share your burden with, and that makes it harder. It's hard when you don't have somebody to share your day with, your burdens with, your good times with, It's like, why do we have to go through this difficult time? Thank you, Lee Guerrero. Welcome, and thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a member. So anyways, we're over here feeling brokenhearted, most likely. Going through a tower, again, is what I feel. And a lot of your hard days is, I thought I was in love. I thought I found the one to be with me through life. But I think they lied. I think there was something false, that's how you feel. And you're just like, I guess I was a fool. I fell for it. I believed it, and this person ran away or abandoned you, left you, and lied about everything. And you're sitting here praying with the star, asking for help, for guidance, for healing, only to get the response, no. I'm not going to help with this situation. This is a hard lesson. This was something you had to go through yourself and learn and become stronger, and that's always a tough lesson. It's always like, why? And here you are trying to get over it, 6 of Swords. But all you keep thinking about, 4 of Cups, is the rejection, the loneliness, the why did they do this to me, What did I do to deserve this is a lot of your thoughts. You're looking back, 7 of Swords, behind your shoulder, looking at the past and wondering what went wrong. And why would they have lied to you? And the worst part is, this person tried to get away with it. And as far as you can see with the star card, they have gotten away with it. And you're like, here I am, left with the tower, left in pieces, my life left in shambles, and they have the star. How is that fair? And where is justice? Where is karma? At this point, your prayers aren't even getting answered. And the only replies that you're getting from the universe is bear down and be strong. And that's ridiculous to you. You're looking back like, that's ridiculous. Why would I need to bear down and deal with this? This isn't fair. This isn't right. There's got to be some kind of retribution for this. What happens to them? Why am I going through this? So I feel in your hard days, you have a lot of questions. Now, if this isn't about your Two of Cups in reverse, or your Ace of Cups, if we just disregard the 2 cup cards and look at the situation as you're not feeling happy and you feel like nobody's by your side, it means whatever you're going through, you're bearing it all alone, whatever this is. And there's a lot of financial concerns. You're reaching out for some help. Page of Swords. You might be looking for resources or for people that might be able to come in and help you in some way. But it's not enough, or it's not the right time, or they can't. Maybe they can't right now. And it's, for you, it's always a no. And you're just like, I don't understand why it's so difficult. You're like, I thought I had people on my side. And so you're not understanding why so much rejection. Yes, this is a collective reading. What I find really sad about the Four of Cups is that you are being offered something, but it's not what you want. You know, it's like he hasn't even noticed, or she hasn't even noticed the cups still up around. You know, it's like there's one more coming in front of her. It's got a message inside of it, a message in a chalice, a message in a bottle type deal. And she's like, she's not even grabbing for it. She's not even reaching for it. It's like, what is this trash coming to me? So, you know, she's shutting herself off and withdrawing into a negative energy. The feeling of being rejected or hurt or left alone is just too much to bear. And what's being forced upon you is, this is the time to revisit some past decisions that you've made. Maybe you needed to say yes to an opportunity that you previously didn't. Or maybe you should have said no to a previous situation. But 4s indicate a time to just like meditate, stop, and be still. Reflect without being overly defensive, you know, because something is blocking your progress. And here's my thing. Everything happens for a reason. Whatever difficult situation you may be dealing with, it's not like you made the worst decision in the world and now everything's going to be destroyed and trashed and there's no way out and there's no way through. That's not the truth. there's something we're going to take out of the negative and we're going to go off and definitely turn it into a positive. What is the message they're trying to get through to you? What is the lesson of your difficult, hard time? I feel like if you learn it, you can get through it. You can get past it. What do they want? Spirit, what do they want? Integrity is the new black. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Bottom of the deck. 3 ways to fail at everything in life. Number 1, complain about everything. Number 2, blame others for your problems. And number 3, never be grateful. So the overall underall energy is this. And it's teaching you not to complain, not to blame, and to just find the good in the bad situation. Integrity is being a good person no matter your circumstances. It always looks good. You know, black always looks good on everybody. So it's like integrity, that looks good on everybody. And integrity is good morals. And it's doing things for the right reasons. And sometimes we make the wrong choices, but for the right reasons. And that's good to remember. Sometimes you fall in love with the wrong person for the right reasons. Whatever they were giving you and showing you sure felt right, and that's what you were looking for, you know? Or that car you really wanted, you thought was healthier for your family, best for your family, and you thought it was the best deal financially and the best option with what you had. So you went for it, and then you got taken advantage of. You bought it from snake car salesman who tacked on $10,000 more at the end of the day. And you felt taken advantage of. But your heart was in it for the right reasons. You know, these are all lessons. And the universe knows you're not an idiot. The universe knows you're not somebody that has evil intentions. Sometimes we accept help from someone that offers. And oh, they paint it so nice. They're like, oh, I want to help you. I want to be there for you. It's going to be all good. And then one little thing goes wrong that's not even your fault. And the next thing you know, they're like, I'm out of this deal. I'm out. I never should have signed. I never should have been a part of this with you. It was a bad idea. And they kind of blame you for it. And then they turn it around and make it sound like you should have never asked, which you didn't. Maybe you're like, I never even asked you. You offered. But they don't remember that story. Remember, it's all about the blame right now. They don't remember their part in the situation. It's always you. You're the easy one to blame, the easy one to point the finger at because you're the worm on the hook. And this is where they get that saying, all that glitters isn't gold. You can't, unfortunately, always believe people when they come out with their best interest, their best foot forward. I want to be there for you. I want to support you. And then you know if one little thing goes wrong and it's not even your fault, you're going to be crucified for it. Crucified means wrongfully to blame, wrongfully punished, and you're wrongfully going to be the one to pay for this in a very painful way. That's what crucified means. So sometimes you are on the chopping block. You're the one to be the lamb to the slaughter. And it's not your fault. But the universe is like, hey, you know what? You made a choice. Did you learn from it? You can't trust everybody. And I think that's kind of where you're at. I think on this very bad day, Seven of Swords, you're looking back at your decisions, at the people you put faith in. And this could be your grandpa, this could be your mom, this could be your husband, this could be the father of your kids, this could be your wife or your sister, whoever this is. But you put your trust in these people that your life is in their hands in some way. You're vulnerable, you're belly up, you're the vulnerable side is tender and it's right there, and they take advantage of that vulnerability. And sometimes they're wrongfully going to go for you and bite you where it hurts. And you know what? I hate to say it, and it's obvious, but it's also not fair, but naivety is not the best thing. And I know they think being childlike is godlike, but also being childlike is naive, and you can fall for many things in that naive way. And so the message here is let's not be naive anymore. I think your innocence of the world has been taken. And you're losing a part of you that's never going to come back. I think that's the enlightenment. Someone got away with taking away your innocence here in some way, like you believed in them, you had faith in them. It's gone. They took it. They took that last bit of faith. And now you're left here like the King of Pentacles, just frowning and upset. Because the responsibility's on your shoulders now. And they said they were going to help. They said they were going to be a part of this. They said they were going to be a part of this marriage, or they said they were going to be a part of this deal, or they said they were going to support you and always be there for you. They made promises, but now they're not kept. And the only one that's having the fingers pointed at them is you. And is it true that they got off the hook? Yeah, they're off the hook. They're off the hook. They had no part in it. It wasn't them. They didn't ask for it. They didn't look for it. They didn't intentionally become entangled with you. It was like they were ambushed, held by gunpoint, taken advantage of, manipulated. Hang on, guys.
Go to the bathroom.
We'll go there.
Your soap is
You're going to go down and feed the cats because they've been going crazy, and that's why I have the door locked. Okay? You're going to want to when they're asking like they're jumping off the walls. All right, guys, hang on. So anyways, I'm sorry about that. We're back. Quiet down. Sorry. So anyways. Okay, so they're off the hook. That's what you think. You're like, I'm left with the tower. They're off the hook. And you're feeling terrible, Four of Cups. You're just like, I feel like trash. I feel like I'm discarded. I feel like my feelings don't matter, and they are the only feelings that matter. You know, you're just like, here I am you were given this gift. Could be a baby, could be a car, could be a house, could be a beautiful relationship. Whatever it was a gift from God. And you're like, oh, that was a blessing. That was an Ace of Cups. This was like ordained from heaven. It was like just a drop of sunshine. It was help when you needed it. It was love when you needed it. It was support. It was happiness. It was good things when you needed it. And it came in from the universe. And you're like, oh, thank you. But then the nightmare happens. The Tower, the Seven of Swords. And you're like, wow, was I stupid to believe this was a blessing? Was I stupid? Was I a fool to believe that this was going to turn out good? What was wrong with me? What was I thinking? You know, so you're feeling bad and embarrassed. You're like, I really thought this was a gift. What a fool I am. Remember, integrity is the new black. So you have integrity, okay? You never would have done what these people or this person did to you. You're kind of a ride or die kind of person. You're like, I'm a ride or die. You know, I will be there as your friend, as your support. I will go through the thick with you and I won't complain. You know, if you were helping your daughter get a house or something, you would do whatever you could to get her name on the deed, to push her to get that credit fixed, to help her financially if you need, to get her where she needs to be to get it. Especially if she's a single mom or something, you would be like, I'm here, I'm going to get you through this. Come on, hold my hand. We're going to get you through the finish line. But instead, someone's mom's just like, well, if you lose it, you lose it. If you can't, you can't. You know? Or they're only there in support because their name's on there and they're trying so hard to get you off. Or maybe this person is taking advantage of you and sneaking around and getting your equity without telling you. Maybe they put a house in their name and said they're going to give it to you, but they never did. Seven of Swords. Sneaky, getting away with it, lying. Perhaps this is a father of your children or a mother of your children, and they promised marriage and a family and a beautiful wedding. Maybe they even said they're going to sing at your wedding, or they said they're going to, you know, come in on a horse for the wedding, or, you know, they had some kind of a plan. Maybe they said, oh, we're going to get matching crown tattoos on our wrists, you know, or we're going to get rings tatted, or we're going to have a hand fasting ceremony, or we're going to get married in the beaches of Hawaii, you know, whatever their little promises were. And, oh, when we have children, we're going to have two. I want two children. Oh, and, you know, I'm going to come and see them at lunch every day. It's going to be a good life. We're going to be there together raising these kids. And you're like, oh, this is great. This is a beautiful dream. This is a dream come true. Maybe this person takes you around town and takes you shopping, gets you a new cell phone, brand new Apple of the year, puts you on their phone plan, puts you on their insurance, starts calling you Mr. or Mrs., their last name. And you're just like, I'm so in love. We're going to get married. Life's going to be so good. You know, all these are hype you up moments, hype up moments, building you up, building up the dream, and you're believing it. And it seems true because the evidence, as the physical evidence goes to show you, you have a phone in your hand, or you have a house in hand, or you have a car in hand. Perhaps your grandpa or grandma's like, oh, honey, I'm going to help you do whatever you need to do to get what you need to get. Don't you worry about it. Don't worry. I don't want to tell your mom or dad. This is between us. I just want to help you. And you get a parking ticket. They get a letter in the mail and they're panicking. They're like, oh my God, what's this? I should have never signed. I should have never signed on this car. I should have not. Or perhaps something goes wrong at the bank that's not your fault. Perhaps you got a new debit card and they charged the old one and the payment bounced and, you know, it came back missed payment and it's not even your fault. You're like, I'll fix it. And they're like, oh my God, no, I got to get off this car. I gotta rat you out. I got to do everything I can to avoid this. And I should have never gotten involved in this. And I regret it. And this was a mistake and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, wow, where was your support? I thought you wanted to help, but apparently that comes with strings and conditions. Strings and conditions that were never discussed. Feelings now coming up that were definitely not part of the deal when it went down. Because when all the deals went down, it was happy, love, joy. It was good things. It was integrity. But people often change their integrity once something happens that disrupts their plan. And this is what Spirit Source Creator is teaching you. You are like a diamond under pressure. You're being given a lot of times, honestly, because you're being tested under pressure on how you are going to react with people that are liars, deceivers, or panickers, overthinkers, or we call, how do you say, like, people that give and they take it right back, whatever you call that. How are you going to react with these people? And it seems like you're losing because it looks like they've got the win. They've got it in their name. They've got the keys. They've got the power. They've got the control. But let me tell you, you don't want to switch places with those people. And let me tell you why. God knows. God knows. When somebody has power over someone and they don't need that person, you guys ever heard this saying, look at how someone treats you when they don't need anything from you? That's the saying. When they don't need something from you, how do they treat you? And God's watching. Karma's watching. They're seeing what they do when they have power and control. God is watching when they're like, I have the money. I have the title. I have the power. And I'm going to dangle it right over your head. And I expect A, B, and C done, or it's gone. God knows. And let me tell you the honest truth with the star card. That's astrology. Karma's coming in this life. Something's going to happen to their health, their wealth, their marriage, their happiness. Something's going to happen and they're not going to feel like they're living a happy life with all that money, with all that power, with all that good credit score. They're not going to have happy relationships with their children or with their spouses or with their grandkids. They're not going to have it good. They're going to suffer. It's because what do you do with that power? What do you do? And believe me, God's watching and saying, hey, you know what? You may have the money in this lifetime. You may have the wealthy spouse, you may have the big house, you may have the perfect credit score, you may have the right skin tone, you may have all your little ducks in a row in this life because of whatever karma you've received to have it. But what about your next one? Because the next time you come in, you may be the pauper. You may be the one with a different skin tone. You may be the one poor. You may be the one with the bad credit score. You may be the one left alone to suffer. You may be the one that's raising 3 children alone. You may be that one. You may be the one where the world is on your head and against you, needing a helping hand. And you know what? Someone's going to come along and promise you the world. And then they may just hold it over their head. They're going to come up and believe me, what goes around comes around. That is the full scale of the universe. What you do unto others will be done unto you. And I want you to know the person that's going through a really hard time, where you feel like you are the scum under someone's foot, where you feel like you can't get from under that cloud and it's just pouring. And when it rains, it pours. And when you feel like you finally got 10 steps ahead in life and now you're about to lose it all, this is the time where you just get down and you pray, you give thanks, you give. You give whatever you can give. Food, friendship, shelter, whatever you can give it. Because the one that gives gathers. And when you feel like life is just taking things away from you, like you're losing, start giving. This is a trick of Saturn. This is a remedy I'm telling you from my heart of hearts. I know it to be true intuitively. When you feel like you're losing everything, start giving. Because it's impossible for the universe to keep taking from someone that's a giver. And as far as the people that have done you dirty, done you wrong, promised they were going to be there for you, that they were going to support you and love you, and they were going to have your back, they're not a man of their word. They're not a woman of their word. They're contractual. Based on the contract, read the fine print. I'll help you if. I'll be there in support, but. And now you're not going to be so naive. Did you guys watch that new Willy Wonka show? It's such a good movie. It's on, I think, Max. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's Max, but I could be wrong. Could be Prime. But anyways, the Willy Wonka, the new movie, the musical, he's such a sweet character. He's such a good actor. I cried at least 12 times in that movie. You have to watch it. You really, really, really do. Anyways, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear it, don't listen. I'm giving you a warning. Leave. If you are so into movies, you're like, don't spoil it. Pause it for like a minute, okay? Maybe less. It's just a little phrase. But he goes, he gets some help by this guy who's like, do you want a room? He was sleeping out in the cold in the snow. And he was like, I don't have the money to pay for this room. And by the way, I don't have to blow my nose for anybody's like, oh, get a tissue. It's in my sinuses. Like I see, it's not in my nose. I can't blow anything out. It's just in my head. So I've gotten comments before about it, and I just want to mention that. I wish I could change what's going on in my body, but I can't. Anyways, I can't blow my nose and it go away. All right. I'm just trying to breathe here. So anyways, he's getting a room because he's sleeping out in the cold. And this guy comes up to him and offers him a room for free. And he's just like, you know what? I know a place you can stay, and she's going to help you out. You don't have to sleep out in the cold. And he's like, oh, great. Thank you. He's like, I get paid my fortune tomorrow, and I'll be able to pay. And he was being honest. But he gets there, and there's a big contract to stay there. And a little girl is telling him, read the fine print. And he's like, what? And so he pulls out this huge contract. The sad thing is, he can't read. So he couldn't read. And he just looked at it and he said, well, it looks okay to me. Because he trusted those people. They were being kind to him. They said, do you want to warm yourself by the fire? Would you like a drink? We're going to offer you this room, no charge. You just pay tomorrow night, okay? He thought that sounded wonderful, like lips of an angel, And he felt like these people are really nice. And sometimes our intuition puts faith in people that honestly, they don't deserve our faith. But we have big hearts. We believe these people. You believe your mom, you believe your grandpa, you believe this man or woman that came into your life. You believe them because they're easily believable. They've got tears in their eyes, or they're saying it with a big hug, or it's genuine in the moment. Maybe it really is genuine in the moment, but they're fickle people. And they will change and shift based on the situation. So anyways, he had to learn a very hard lesson. And the next night when he went to go pay, they threw out the fine print and told him he had a very excessive bill. And now he had to stay there and work it off. That they wouldn't allow him to leave. And that's just metaphorical. In this case of this story that I'm reading for you, sometimes you get tricked, and before you know it, you've entered into a karmic contract or maybe a literal contract with somebody, and it's too late. And now the only person that's getting the short end of the deal is you. You're the one now without your name on the deed, even though they promised your name was going to be on the deed. And you put up all the money for the house. You paid it all forward. But no deed. Or you're the one making the car payment. You're the one doing everything you can for the vehicle. But the person that signs it gets all the credit. And now they have a say if you could keep it or not. And they're getting good dibs on their credit for your payments. But they feel like they're getting the short end of the stick. They feel like, I'm in debt, this affects me. They forget that they said it doesn't matter. They forget that they said, I want to do something nice for you. They forget that they said, I want to be there for you and help you. They forget that. Now all of a sudden they're looking out for themselves. And it's, I need to get out of a situation for me. And you are not in the equation. Perhaps your kid's father or kid's mother, whatever, is like, you know what? The grass was green when we were in bed. But now that the child's here, I really don't want to take responsibility for that. And you're like, wow. And they say, well, it's an easy decision. Let's just get rid of it. And it's not that easy for you, for your soul, for your mind, for your body. It's not that simple. And the decision that's easier for them is not easier for you. So you respectfully decline and they leave. These are all different scenarios, guys. But people take advantage. And it's unfair. And it's not nice. And they don't have integrity. You do. You would never do that to somebody. You know that you would never sign on a dotted line If you didn't know that life isn't perfect, there's going to be some stumbles on the road. There's going to, life is not perfect. It never goes as planned. Who can raise their hand and say, hey, my life is perfectly as planned. I wrote it down. I live by it. Everything happened as it should. Bull. Lies, fake news. Not true. Nobody's life goes as planned. There's always things that go wrong. People get sick. Things happen. People die. Accidents happen. And you can only do what you can do at the time. But you know that. And when you're there to help someone, you would never go back on your word. You would never go back on your word. You would never take someone's home. You would never take someone's car. You would never talk bad about them behind their back when they're not present. You would never sit there and gossip. You would never plot and plan someone's demise behind their back. Do you know there are some crooked people that act like whatever evil they can bestow upon you is not bad? I know someone that had power and control of somebody's house, and they lived in a whole nother state. And they had the power of influence over the homeowner. They had power over the homeowner because they had a loan in their name for them. So they had, the carrot. Hey, I'm your main person that gets you money, so you better do as I say. I have power and control over where you live and what you have. So this person had power and control to influence the homeowner. And this person chose to buy out a person's house. And then they said, well, I'll help you, but you should go live with this other person that I have power and control of their house for. You guys should all live together. You know why? Because it's better for me. It's better for me, and the bills will be paid. And hey, you guys are all in a bad spot. You're all in a bad financial position. You should be grateful you just have a roof over your head. Be glad you're not in a gutter, you little gutter rat. Be glad that you have a house. It's so nice that I have power and control that I get to say what gutter you get to live in. Isn't that cruel? Isn't that just wrong? Instead of helping that person get government assistance or a grant. Instead of helping that person with money and setting up a payment plan or helping them to get a loan. Let's just move you to the gutter. Oh, and don't mind if there's any emotional situation. Don't worry if this bothers you guys emotionally. Don't worry if it affects and uproots the happiness of your lives. That's not as important as money. You need to remember you have a price on your head. It's wrong, guys. It's wrong. And that person lacks integrity. And what's sad is that person goes on living a life of luxury. They get to go out to eat whenever they want, travel whenever they want, buy whatever clothing they could ever want. Anything they want, they can get their hands on. If they wanted a boat, they could have one. If they wanted another house, they could have one. If they wanted tomorrow to go on a cruise, they could make it happen. These are the people that have power. These are the people that take really good care of themselves. They go to massages, they go to chiropractors, they get facials, they get Botox, they get injections, they get extensions, they get everything you could think of. They're just out there living their best life like Kim Kardashian or like the Hiltons. What do you want? and they have no heart, no integrity for people's feelings, emotions, or the fact that other people have it really bad, and they've gotten a bad lot in life. And it just, whoever's got the power looks down on them and says, well, I had it hard when I was a kid. Yeah, I've had a great adult life, but I had it hard. It's like somebody has it hard for 18 years, but they have 40 years of wealth. It doesn't really even out. Versus somebody that had a good 15 years of their life, and the rest of the 40 years have been a living hell. It's like, karma, do you have a scale? Are you evening this out? This really doesn't seem like integrity. And Saturn's going to come back and say, hey, life's not fair. Some people are wealthy, some people are poor, some people have it good, some people don't. The universe is not out to give everyone an equal share. It's just not how it works. Some people are blessed, guys. Some people are blessed. And that's just not your lot in life right now. I'm sorry to tell you that. But there's a silver lining. Okay? But there is a little thing called karma. What goes around comes around. And you are being tested with your integrity. And I know right now you can't see your next life. But it's going to be good. I know you can't see it. But let me tell you, the king will be the servant. The wealthy will be the poor. The one that's abandoned you, they're going to feel what abandonment feels like. Trust me, your perpetrators will be dealt with. The evildoers, the ones that are maybe not even evil, just selfish, or let's just say self-centered, meaning they are more important than everybody else. Their credit, their home, their livelihood, that weighs far more important in comparison than anybody else. That is self-centered. And Saturn, the planet of karma, but also the planet of service. He is the planet that decides what your birth chart looks like when you come into the world. He decides. He is death and birth, or death and life, if you will. And he has taken complete notice of everyone's actions, everyone's heart, everyone's integrity. And someone is not going to have a happy next life. And it's going to be very sad because they think, oh, when I die, I'm going to go to the afterlife. I'm going to go to heaven. I'm going to go see my loved ones and I'm going to go live eternity with them. Wrong. Wrong. No, you're not. You're going to see them. You're going to say hello. And then you're going to be judged. And then you're going to be sent back down and you're going to do your sentence. That's what's going to happen. You are. You're going to be sent down and you're going to pay your karmas. And you know what? In that life, you're going to come across your soulmates, your karmic soulmates, and you're going to have a karmic debt. And you're going to have to pay it. And that person is not going to get away with it. And like I said, the king will be the servant. The rich will be the poor. That's why in the good book, it says the meek will inherit the earth. Believe me, eternity is going to be difficult when you've got bad karma on your record. You don't just get your slate wiped clean because God died for your sins, in your opinion. And your slate is wiped clean and you've done no dirty wrong. And you don't have to pay for it wrong. That's a nice story that people would like to tell themselves that came up with those words. But the truth is, you will be forgiven, just not yet. You have to learn your lesson. I'm sorry, but there is a form of punishment. How could God in the Bible be all wrath and then all sweet? That's man-made. It doesn't work that way, guys. You will be forgiven once you've learned your lessons, once you've gone through the cycle of life, once you've gone through all the 12 houses, once you've learned how to have relationships, how to treat people, how to do business, how to be a parent, how to be a friend, how to be a servant, how to be a leader. Once you've learned all these things, your soul will be healed and whole and one. But not yet. Not if this person is doing things like this. Believe me, that's the way it goes. You plant seeds, there's going to be a fruit. Whenever someone can stop planting seeds, that's when they're forgiven and let go. That's when they can move on. When they stop depositing anything into this world. When they've got nothing left to give except love. When they're at the end of the road and all they've given is love to this world, to the planet, to the animals, to people, and they have no karma with children or family, and they're off on their own, just done, they can be free. But for the people that have connections, think of it as a tangled web. They're tangled because everything you do has a cause and reaction. So believe me, this person or these people, whoever's harmed you, Seven of Swords, they're not just going to get away with it. You may not know what happens in the next life, but there will be payment for this debt. And let me tell you, if you are walking around with good integrity and you are treating people with love, you are giving people patience, and all they're giving you is lashback, and then they get mad at you for the way you react, that's narcissistic, by the way. You ever have those people that treat you badly? They disrespect you, flat out disrespect you. And then you react because you've been disrespected. And they play the victim and get mad at you for reacting to their disrespect. Now, you're disrespectful for reacting to their disrespect. And they're off the hook because they're the victim. Because why? They said so. And what they say matters and what you say doesn't. And their opinion is the only one that's the truth and yours is not. It's gaslighting. And they'll say, well, I've got people on my side. I've got a crew. I've got support. I've got friends. I've got family. They all support me. So obviously you're the one that's wrong. Because my husband backs me up. Or my wife, or my daughters, my sons. They all back me up. It's wrong. I have an uncle like this, guys. It's terrible. And he forms an alliance with his kids against his own mother. He will gather the flying monkeys to support him. It's narcissistic. It's gaslighting is what it is. And if you're going through anything like that, I'm very sorry. But this person is not going to get away with it. Karma comes on its own free time. And I know sometimes we're sitting around watching with the star like, wow, they're going off on vacation, living a happy life. Wow, they're rich. Wow, they've got everything at their fingertips. Don't watch with envy, guys. The best advice Spirit wants to give you is don't be envious. Clap at their success. Be glad that they're living a successful life. Be happy someone's made it and they're doing what makes them happy. Your time is coming, and God always has a way to raise you up at the perfect time when they're going to watch. And right now, you may need them, but someday they may need you. And God is going to put you in that place of power, that seat of authority. That is when the meek will inherit the earth. That is when the servants will be the kings and the leaders. It takes a great person to serve. I don't know if you guys ever watched Made in Manhattan, but that one guy was a great actor. And he was telling Jennifer Lopez in the movie, we offer them our time. We serve them graciously. We are not less than them. And who, my friends, is the greatest servant of all? Who came here as the most bad ASS leader of the world and was a servant? Jesus. If anybody understands how to be a servant, it is him. And you can call on Jesus anytime you feel stressed, hurt, treated unfairly. You call because he will listen. Because he had to serve. He had to serve everyone. He had nothing of his own and he served. And he does not want you to live a life of poverty, especially if you're raising children. He wants you to live a life of joy. He came here to make sure you could have that. And although he doesn't seek vengeance on people, he's gentle as a lamb. He will be there to give you comfort. And sometimes that's what you need. You need comfort. You need a friend. He's there for that. But when you need someone to strike out vengeance, when you want someone to come in and take out karma, you call on the Father, not the Son. You call on the Father, which is Saturn. And you say, this is wrong. I want justice. I'm hurting. I need help. Send me aid. This is an SOS. I'm losing it. I'm losing things. I need help. This is not right. Give me justice. He'll come. He will come. So you go get that help, guys. That tower is happening for you, but it's not just for you. Integrity is everything, and whoever has done you dirty and done you wrong, the tower will come. What they have done has not gone unnoticed. I'll be right back, guys. Let's go. Okay. Well, I had to let my dog outside. So well, the reason they say that, you ask me and you ask the Father, is one reason, because the Holy Trinity. Again, that's biblical. If you choose to believe the Bible, full and full. But, not everyone follows the Bible exactly to a T. And you can talk to the Father directly. Back in those days, they believed you couldn't, that you had to go through, clergy. You had to go through the higher ups of the church to even speak to God. And obviously that's not true. And then they, said, just speak to Jesus, you can get to the Father. Well, Jesus is the one that said, pray like this. And he asked everyone to pray directly to the Father. That's where you get the Our Father prayer, the Lord's Prayer, because Jesus is the one that taught people to pray directly to the Father, because no one would. And that's why it starts off with Our Father, who is in heaven. Okay? So you can speak directly to the Lord. You don't have to go through Jesus to get there. There's no third party. But when you want to speak to Jesus directly, obviously you can do that directly. And if you want to speak directly to the Father, you certainly can. They are all connected, but it's no reason why you can't speak to the Father directly. That being said, I also believe God is female and male. I don't believe he's on a throne with a big white beard in the clouds. And God, the creator of our universe, is an energy, and he is pure energy, pure creation. He definitely holds pure love. Jesus is an expression of love, and the Holy Spirit is an expression of power. So you can connect to those three energies. And I also see it as male, female, Holy Spirit, masculine, feminine, Holy Spirit, positive, negative, and source. Positive energy, negative energy, and source. It's all created. They're always together. So just trust me, when the karmic wheel starts turning here, guys, you're going to go directly to the power source. And this is what this is. And this is where I am saying, pray directly to the power source. Pray directly and say, I need help. I need healing. I need something. I'm asking with the star. This is about wish fulfillment. This is about prayer. And it is about karmas as well. Because you're either going to get fulfillment of the wish or you're not. And I'm going to tell you that whoever has really caused harm in your life, it's been checked, it's been seen. And this King of Pentacles energy, in my opinion, is king of the material world, worldly possessions, money, cars, clothes, houses, etc. And he ordains what goes where and when and how. And right now, the people that have had power over you physically, they're going to lose that power here with the Tower. That's what's coming. And they're not going to be very happy either. Time to make room for your blessings. And let me tell you, you're going to have resolution to the situation. And unfortunately, what looks like is going to happen karmically to the person that did you dirty is they're going to lose out on some form of relationship. I don't see that their money's going to be affected, but I see their relationships are going to be affected. They're going to lose contact with children, or they're going to lose contact with you. They're going to have a loss of relationship joy, relationship happiness. Okay, this person is going to suffer in their marriage. There could be a fight, lots of fights. There could be a divorce. There could be a major separation. There could be an uprooting of relationships throughout the family where people no longer want to see each other, where people are moving away from each other. This is the karma of disruption in relationships. So honestly, what I see in these cards is the person that has harmed you in some Seven of Swords way, their relationships are destined with the Tower. And it is what it is. It's not you're the one deciding, it's God. It's karma. It's the universe. They are deciding what needs to go where and when. Remember, this is not you checking off the marks of what you want done, like you're going through a drive-through at McDonald's and saying, this is what I want to happen. It's not up to you. As much as you would like to see their whatever situation crumble, it's not up to you. You never will get to pick any kind of karma about what's going to happen to anyone. Whatever spirit source, creator, universe sees fit will be done. But, the cards do tell you, listen, if you've been wronged, I saw that. I took note. And karma will come when it comes, when I see fit, when I think it's the right time to let that tower come down. And we like to call that divine timing. So with the Six of Swords, let's get ready for a new beginning. Let's see what else comes out. Don't forget, we forgot this card, and I forgot. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Pick one time in your life when you've been hurt. And maybe there's obviously a lot more than one time. But pick a time when you've been hurt and ask how it made you golden. Did it make you more tender-hearted? Did it open you up when you were once closed down? Did that heartbreak lead you to more connection with spirit? Can you get just a little teensy tiny bit grateful for what happened? Yeah, look at you. You're like a wounded disco ball inside. Well, I guess in other words, it's saying the wound is the place where the light enters you, saying sometimes the bad things that happen to you are a blessing in disguise. I once had a friend who had terrible fights with their roommate, and they never wanted to have those fights, but it just kept happening, and they really didn't want to. They just couldn't get along. And they ended up splitting up on whatever differences they felt they needed to move on from each other. And each of them got their own house. They were able to buy. And they were so much happier. And they got to do their own private things. They got to live their own private life. And they each got married. And, they each had their own life. And they got to decorate how they wanted to decorate. And leave whatever up they wanted to leave up. And do what they wanted to do when they wanted to do it. And it was a bittersweet. It was sad for them to separate, but a blessing that they got to go off and have a whole new life that's their own. And that's a little bit about the wound is the place where the light enters you. Sometimes bad things happen for good reasons. Sometimes you may be losing your house, but you're getting something better. You're getting an improved marriage, or an improved relationship, or an improved business, or your own house. Sometimes that's even better. So when you think it's a loss, it's not a loss. Sometimes you think you're getting the short end of the stick because you're getting a smaller house, maybe not in a better area. But what did you get in return? A lot of money to pay out for that house. Much better credit. Now you've got your name on 2 houses. You're showing income. You're showing credit. And now you can get any credit cards you want. You can go anywhere you want. You can do all these things. You think the other person has that? No. So sometimes you get the better end of the deal when you think you don't, you know? So it's like, look at the positives. Sometimes you may be like, oh, my relationship with my baby's dad didn't work out. He's not in his life. He calls every once in a while. He's really not present. He said he would always be there, and now we're struggling. Now we're hurting financially. I'm having a hard time raising these kids without him, you know. But you know what? The blessing is maybe he would have raised them in a totally different way, in a very ugly way, maybe an abusive way. Maybe that person would have been a very bad influence. Maybe that person would have abused you and made you unhappy and miserable, and you would have been a worse mother to those kids had that man been around. You know, you wouldn't have had all those happy memories you have with them, and they wouldn't be all yours, you know? And it may hurt right now, and you may feel like, I don't know, like nothing's ever going to go right in your life, but it will. And someday those kids are going to grow up, and they're going to think of you on Father's Day instead of him. They're going to grow up, and they're going to come to your house on holidays. They're going to grow up, and they're going to bring their kids to see you, not the other person. And they're going to give you gifts that you never thought you could be given. And he's not going to be part of it. So when you're sitting there fighting and thinking this is the worst thing that could have happened to you, maybe it's actually a blessing. And you know who knows that? God, creator, source. He knows. He knows your future, what you're due, what you're in store for. And sometimes we don't realize that it's actually a huge blessing. So whenever you're going down Skid Row, kicking rocks, not literally. Skid Row's a terrible place to be, but it's a phrase. When you're going down a terrible path and you're just losing, you're just taking L's. You're losing money, you're losing time, you're losing energy, you're losing friends and family, you're just taking L's. There's a win. There's a win somewhere. You got rid of a toxic family member at least. Now they're not going to abuse you anymore. That's a win. You got rid of someone that was fake, that was only contractual relationship. Be glad they're out, they're done. You don't ever have to be around that fake person anymore. You're going to win, okay? And there's so many people in our world. And I want to say this because a lot of people think the more I cry, the more I'm pitiful, the more I just sit in my puddle of 5 of Cups and just feel terrible at how mean the world is and how mean everyone is to me. They think karma's going to feel the most for them, like God has some big heart to just give you happiness and pleasure. And I would like to say that's true. But those kind of emotions are human. God is not human. He's energy and universal. And he sees through the eyes of the sword, which is truth, and it's double-edged. It's not some big bleeding heart, okay? And that may be sad, but he sees it as you need to do something for yourself. And people cannot just sit there with their cup and do nothing. They have to take the step to believe that they're worthy of something more. They have to speak it into existence. They have to call it. They have to manifest it. They have to take the steps they need to make their dreams happen, because the mansion's not going to fall in your lap just because you're crying. And the great spouse is not just going to show up through the front door just because you're crying over this ex. That's not how karma is going to play out for you. And so one thing I do feel like needs to be said is karma does want to benefit you and give you wish fulfillment, but you need to ask. You need to seek. You need to search. You need to pursue. the things that you want. When the Holy Spirit, when the universe, when the energy of our solar system says, I see what you're pursuing, it's going to match your energy. This is where Rumi says, what you seek is seeking you. What you seek is seeking you. But you have to seek it. You can't just sit and allow what you want to seek you out. That's where a lot of people go backwards. Even if you had a short end of the stick, even if karmically you were not given things fairly, it still has to happen this way. And Bradio fly. Oh wait, bride of fly, or I don't know if I'm saying this right. Bradio fly, whatever that means. The reason we don't talk about Yeshua and in those terminology, because it's just a term. It's a phrase that people want to say. It's a name, just like Jesus, the Redeemer, the Lamb, whatever you want to call Yeshua. Yes, if you've done your theological research, that is the technical term. Does everyone use it? Do Islams use it? No. A lot of people don't use that name. They don't have to use that name. If people prefer to use the name Jesus, I think it has just as much power as Yeshua. That's just a pronunciation that maybe is more correct, but I think in the heart of God, it doesn't matter what name you use. It doesn't matter how perfectly and directly and identifying something so correctly, and I don't think that matters. I don't think God is like, well, I'm not going to answer to the word Jesus, but I will answer to the name Yeshua. That's not how it works. And as far as tarot and anything biblical, they do not go together, to be honest. I do believe that tarot goes with spirituality, and I do believe that God and the Holy Spirit and Jesus and Yeshua, as you would say, they go hand in hand with tarot and spirituality. There's good and bad and dark and light in every spiritual journey. Witches can be used for good or bad. Religion can be used for good or bad. That's just the way of life. But in general terms, there is no religion that supports divination. None. Not a single one. Not Islam, not Christianity, none. They don't support it. So when you want to marry the two together, they don't mix. The people that actually go into the occult, and the occult is everything secret, hushed, and hidden. The occult is hidden things. These are the hidden books of the Bible. These are the hidden teachings of the Emerald Tablets. And these are the hidden teachings of Thoth. These are the hidden things, the hidden world of magic, the hidden world of any kind of divination, psychic abilities, tarot cards, palm reading. That's the occult, astrology. All these things are secret and hidden, and they are not supported worldwide. So I know that you're on a journey where you are all in Christianity or whatever your faith would be that believes in Yeshua. And so if you were to take this reading, this channel, this YouTube, these cards to any place that supports what you believe in, they would tell you to run as far away from this as you can. And I only mention that in love because people need to know what path are they on. Because as soon as they say, purify yourself, ask for forgiveness, turn away from sin and go no more, this right here is the sin. They want you to turn away from it. So if you are walking down a path of Yeshua light in the religious world, you should turn your back to this because they don't support it. But if you find that you're drawn to the light, which is truth, you will probably turn your back on religion, to be honest. And you're not going to follow the ways and the teachings of religion because you learn that it's just not part of it. Religion is a heavy yoke to carry. It's man-made rules, man-made religions. They bicker over correct terminology, like we did today. They bicker over what a sin is and what's not. They bicker over what is the greater sin and what is the lesser sin. They bicker over rules that were never said by God. And they get lost in their own man-made world. And so, there is bits and pieces and truth to all religions, I feel. There's beauty in Islam. There's love and light in Islam. There's beauty there. There's spirituality there. Let's just say there's truth in Islam. And there is beauty and truth in Hinduism. There's beauty there. There's truth. There's just light. And there's beauty and truth and light in Christianity. There's beauty there. There's beauty in all of these. But you know who makes it ugly? Men. Man-made men. Does that make sense? God made man, but men make man. Like, I don't know, I'm confusing you, but I'm saying people have an influence on people, not God. That's what I'm trying to say. And so when God made men, mankind, not just the sex of men, it was spiritual, it was open. But as soon as our peers, as soon as our people start putting rules and regulations on us, it becomes very different. And religions today disconnect people from God. That's what I believe. I believe God is in nature. And I would never force people to believe that, but God is in the trees, God is in the animals, God is in the rivers and the waters that are alive, all the creatures. God is in the movements in nature, the eclipse, the clouds, the rain, the snow. God is in all of those things. You could feel his presence. And water has memory. Water is alive, and it hears, and it remembers, and it feels. And so is the earth. The earth does the same. Animals understand you. They feel the same. Trees understand you, and they give energy. They can heal you, and they can give you information very telepathically. So that being said, God is in each of us. We know this. God is in each of us because it is in everything. Of course, it's in us. But there's good and bad to everything, isn't there? Except nature. And I believe the real church is out there in the woods. It's out there in the earth and in the water and in the animals. That's church. It's nice to go to church and hear a gospel now and then. It's nice to read the Bible. It's nice to read the Quran. It's nice to listen to Hindu speakers. It's nice to do mantras. It's nice to do all of these things. But at the end of the day, your relationship with God is strictly a you and him and her connection. And a lot of people don't want to believe God is a her also, but God is. God is both. God is the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine. God has the feminine energy in him as well. And yes, he is the father, the archetype, the emperor, which provides, protects, preserves, and creates. But he is also preservation, the earth that preserves us, keeps us fed, loved, cared for, nurtured. God is those things. God is love. Love is both masculine and feminine. Anyways, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. And there are hierarchies in the celestial order. God is, of course, the creator and the source of all energy. So the utmost of the hierarchy is quote unquote the Father, quote unquote source, quote unquote love and energy, the ultimate. That is the beginning and the end, the I am. Okay? And then you have going down the Holy Spirit and the Son, Jesus, Yeshua for many of you, the Lamb. And they are together in a feminine and masculine yin yang energy as well. And they're there to nurture, love, to lead, provide, and guide. But all of it is this beautiful triangle. And it's the trio. It's the Holy Trinity, no matter what religion you look at it under. And that's why religion doesn't matter. And Yeshua, Jesus, came down and cast out religion. He disregarded anything to do with being Jewish and anything to do with being anything else. He wasn't here for that. He wasn't here to make sure you were following those laws, Jewish laws. He wasn't here for that. And that's why I believe he is a very important part of the ascension, of the waking up. He's your friend. He is your guide. He is your teacher. And he will always be those things. And he's your best friend because he sticks up for you when no one else will. And he puts in a good word towards your spirit. He is the watcher. He's the one watching and loving you. And he loves you beyond measure. He is an expression of the Creator's love. If you could put the Creator's love into a form, it would be him. He came in the form of a man, but it would be him. And that is how the Creator decided to express love. And when the Creator wants to express power, that's the Holy Spirit. Because nothing can stop the Holy Spirit. It's there as quick as you can say its name. It's there to take out whatever energy it needs to take out. It is the sword, but it is also the dove. It's healing as much as it's piercing. The Holy Spirit has power to convict people, the power to stop people, the power to heal people. I already said that, but I said it again. But the Holy Spirit has the power to wield that sword of truth. And when you need something done, you do call on the Holy Spirit. Come on down. I need help. And that lightning, that power from source, believe me, that's the Holy Spirit. Doing the will of God, the creator source energy, which is equal, fair, honest, just, in the eyes of love, integrity. Anyways, don't think that what happened to you in this reading is going to go unnoticed. It is. But as much as you want this person to get their karma, the Creator wants to love that person and have them come home. So you have to remember that. There's no complete division. There is lessons, but there's no complete division. It's a gentle form of love. But that's why when we're getting the short end of the stick, we need to look at the blessing. And when the person that did you wrong is getting the short end of the stick and they're getting karma, they also have to look at the blessing and the good in them, that they are learning in that dark time to be a better person, to be a fair person, to be a loving person, to fix their wrongs and mend and heal their relationships. That's the silver lining for them when they're getting their bad karma, When they're losing their relationships or their money or their health or their job, it's not because we want to strike down lightning and God's like, you're going to pay for that. It's, you're going to notice what you did. And I know you have a good heart. And somewhere, somehow, you're going to figure out how to fix this because you don't want to go down this dark path. It's very painful. It's an act of love. No matter what Creator does with the tower, it's always an act of love. It's not, as we would like to think, a form of punishment. It's a form of enlightenment. And that's what God wants with the star and the tower, enlightenment. And for you, you're learning not to be so naive. You're learning that, boy, you did get the short end of the stick and you're suffering and you're not going to do that again. The next time around, you're going to do it differently. The next time around, you're not going to believe words just because they sound pretty or sweet. The next time around, you're not just going to fall for a pretty face or promises. The next time around, you're going to be more aware. And that is the blessing. That's the silver lining for what you went through. And next time, you're going to be more careful and cautious with your money, with your credit, with who you pick to have children with. These are the lessons. These are the lessons. And that is the tower moment. It's like, I get it. I cannot blame this man who did me dirty and left me with these children. I chose this man in all my naivety, whatever you want to call it. I chose this person. I was naive. It wasn't fair because I was naive, and they're going to get their due karma. But I am also getting my due karma. That's fair. That is fair. But I've learned, and silver lining, I know better now. I know better now. Enlightenment, freedom, the star. And as far as going under contract with someone that's going to do you dirty, a parent, a grandparent, a friend, whoever, even though your heart was in the right place and their heart was in the right place, next time you're going to say, you know what? I think I need to explore another route. Because if I can't do something on my own, as much as I would want that help, I need to find another way. Because if it's family or if it's friends, it's going to ruin our relationship if something goes south. If something happens to me, if I get sick, if I lose my job, if, this is going to affect our relationship. It's a little bit different than getting help from a grant or a loan or a bank, someone that you don't have any relationship with. God will bless you with a friend in the corporate world to help you next time, where you're not going to have to lean on a parent or a grandparent or a friend or a sibling or something like that. And that's a lesson you've learned. And this is why they always say, you don't mix business with family. It doesn't ever end well. Look at The Godfather. It never ends well. Look at The Casino. It just doesn't. Those are mafia movies, but it says something. Look at Scarface. Didn't end up well there either. You don't mix that. And even though you can trust your family more than you can trust anyone else, there has to be a certain line of respect. There has to be some kind of written contract that protects the both of you and your relationship. There has to be a way where you can own a business together without hurting one another. Look at the House of Gucci. Hello, right? We have to be able to conduct our lives with our friends and family where we can get ahead in life. We can help our children buy a home. But there's no strings attached. There has to be an agreement. I'm here no matter what. And if someone can't give you that, don't do it. I know it's kind of a difficult way to make those tough decisions, but you know your heart. And sometimes the best intentions can go south because something goes wrong and you have to protect your relationships. My advice for people buying homes, always put homes in a trust. you know? Family wealth should be shared. That's the way of the world. And it benefits everybody. Once people start getting greedy, and it's in this name and that name and this name, the power becomes like the movie The Ring, you know? What was it, Golem? The precious. People want materialism so much, they ruin relationships. And that becomes a big problem. You guys know that. But in terms of family and like children and parents and stuff, you know, you got done wrong, and that's that's clearly in the cards, 4 cups. And I am by no means sitting here saying, oh, you deserved it. No, you didn't deserve it. But there is this little saying, and it's like, listen, sometimes bad things happen to you and it's not your fault. And you get hurt and you're really hurt. And it's not your fault. You get hit by a truck or somebody does something to you. It's not your fault. But you're the one that has to fix it. You're the one that needs to fix it. It's not them. You know, don't ask for the thing that hurt you to come back and fix you. It's not. It's got to be you. You've got to choose after a bad divorce to go get counseling. You've got to choose to go recover from neglect. You've got to choose to come out of a bad home in childhood and go to college and do better and be that doctor or that lawyer and help others. You got to choose to have the life that you want. There's some tough decisions. There's some very hard choices to make. It's not going to be really easy for you. There's going to be some choices where you don't have a very good option to choose from. One's bad and one's really bad, and you're going to have to choose the best. And you're going to have to roll with it. You know? Sometimes life is multiple choice. You don't have another option. But it's up to you to fix your own life. And no matter what they did to you, it's up to you to fix it. They're not going to come in and save your credit. They're not going to come in and save your house. They're not going to come in and save your car. They're not going to come in and save your family. As much as that would be a very big blessing. And they have it in them. They have power. They have money. They have love to give you. It's up to them. If they want to come in and be an angel, an earth angel, by God, the universe is going to give them the choice. You can be someone's savior, or you can be someone's needle or nail in the heel. You can be a snake, or you can be a dove. Everyone has that choice. I don't choose to be a snake. But some people do. They choose to be a snake. And it's wrong. And they will reap that, because it is wrong. And they'll learn their lesson, like we said, and it will be a blessing in disguise that they learned it. They'll be a better person. But that's not your business right now, and it's really not your problem. What your problem is that you're hurt, you're wounded, and what are you going to do about it? Are we going to sit here and cry? Or are we going to turn around and look at this DAMN cup that has floated in front of us and said, hey, here's an option. It may not be the option you chose, but it's an option. And it says, hey, there's something else over here that from God, source, creator, that can come and help you. We got to turn this right side up. I think the message in here is, what are you going to do? I will say a relationship is going to be destroyed. It looks like that's in the cards. It's going to happen to the person that hurt you, but it's also happening to you, because now your relationship with the person that hurt you is destroyed, and it's never going to be the same. So let's see what's going to happen. I'm looking, oh, there they are. All right, so what's going to happen for you? I feel like I lost all of you guys. Am I making any sense? I'm so sorry. Oh, thank you, TQ. That is a great little message. Shot victims don't worry about the shooter once they are shot. They worry about life. They worry about living, surviving. They worry about themselves, you know? And that's the truth. That's the truth. The person that got run over by a car and crossing the street is no longer worried about what that person's doing in their life. It's, can they walk again? And what kind of therapy do they need, you know, to get back on their feet? Oh, Christina. Yes, the relationship is destroyed. Just going in May to get my stuff and never look back. I will say this, though. Love is very different than a lot of familial relationships, especially soulmate bonds, if you do have one. And the power of the mind is incredible. It's the power of God, really. And you can manifest anything to be fixed, anything to happen. My only kicker on that, my only but on that is if your relationship is destined. I find that people can manifest and fix a broken relationship if they are destined, soulmates or twin flames, you know, something like that. I can see people, they can fix those relationships and manifest them back. But I also see people that are trying to fix a relationship that is absolutely karmic and not any longer for them, and it never comes back together. And I do think that's something that our community on YouTube doesn't talk about. And maybe I should do an extra video on it. But when you get people like Manifest with Jasmine, or Natalie, As the Pennies Drop, or Mel with Subconscious Lows, or The Secret, things like that, they're all talking about a divine soul relationship or contract. And when you have support from the star systems for you, when you get the support, magic happens. Money happens if it's in your chart. What if you're destined to be a destitute monk? It doesn't matter how much money you make. It's going to go to charity or it's going to go to other people and you will always be broke. You know what I'm saying? You may make a lot of money, but it's never for you because it's not in your chart. So think about people like we just spoke about Mother Cabrini the other day. She gained billions of dollars all over the world for hospitals and orphanages. Never had a dime. But when you have some destiny, you can manifest. And she manifested. She got all that money. But it wasn't for her. And when people in love are trying to manifest a karmic relationship, it won't work. And I feel like it won't work because it's not in their chart. And I do think we as tarot readers, relationship specialists, I would call, because here we are dabbling in astrology and tarot for relationships, relationship specialists that scientifically take an approach to dissect the soul, which is what we do. We're doctors, we're scientists in our own right. We need to talk about that if someone is definitely getting doors slammed in their face over and over, there's a reason. But it doesn't mean that all doors being slammed in your face is the outcome. It is touchy, it is detailed, it is specific. It is specific to your chart. Like I said, I've known people that have been in separation for 2 years, cold stone, no contact, living in different states and states of mind, in whole other relationships that have come back together strong in union. And these are people that came from the worst. Court problems, fights, you name it. And they came back together. That's destiny. It's destiny. I have seen, and I don't know if you guys follow some of these TikTok couples. They're like, we made it, we did it, we came back together from a divorce. I've come across all over TikTok and different, you guys will probably too, men and women that have gone through full-fledged divorce through the court system, very ugly divorces, selling of houses, you know, they were married for 10 years and just ugly divorce. And then you know what? After the divorce, they get back together and they remarry. And they live their best life. And they're off in a new home, in a new state. And you know what they say? Silver lining. I learned about myself through that divorce. I'm a better man and I'm a better woman. I know how to make a marriage work because I know how to make it fail. These are some of the best people in relationships, guys. Failures are winners because you have to fail a lot before you can learn to become a winner. And let me tell you, do not give me that BS excuse that I'm not in contact, we're not communicating, we got in a fight. Bull. Take it somewhere else, not here, because maybe you haven't suffered long enough. Maybe you didn't learn your lesson. Maybe that's not meant to be. I don't know. But if it is, it will come back together. But people that are in panic mode, we call it catastrophizing. Have you ever heard the term catastrophizing? It's a psychological term. And it means that people turn a mountain into a molehill into a mountain. Excuse me. They turn they look at the worst case scenario. They go through what ifs, I can'ts, it won't, never, ever, and always. Catastrophizing. And they get stuck in this cycle of overthinking and overanalyzing. And they kill it. They hurt themselves. It's catastrophizing. And so many people on this journey catastrophize the situation, and it's as worse as it could ever get, but it's not. It's really not. And like I said, you should look at couples that have been through full-fledged divorces. You should look at couples that have been through no contact for years and come back into contact. That's fate. It's destiny. It's seen in the chart, astrologically written in the stars. Literally written in the stars. Your soul contract, your soul agreement, your destiny is already written. Not that every move you make in your life is predestined. It's not. But there are destiny points. You know how when we look up at the stars and we see the constellation, let's just say, of Virgo. When we look up at the stars and we see the constellation of Virgo, we don't see a woman with wheat and a scythe in one hand or medicine and a pretty long dress. We don't see a woman in the stars. There are points on the stars that, like a dot to dot, create the image in your imagination of the Lady of Virgo, the Virgin. She's not actually painted there perfectly, but if you use your imagination, she is. It is the dots, the destiny points, and that's like your chart. Every single detail is not seen in your chart, but there are destiny points, dot to dots, and you're going to have to meet those destiny points, and those are people, places, things, and times in your life. Those are the destiny points, just like when you read palms. These are written here. It's just part of you. It's your makeup. You will go through them. But everything else is a blur. Everything else is a free choice. Everything else is what you decide your life to be, but there are points where things are going to happen against your will, like your parents. You can't decide that. That's destiny. You can't decide your birth, where you're going to be born, what nationality you're going to be born of. That's predestined for you. You can't decide those things. The children that are meant to come in your life, that's destiny. It's written. It's a destiny point. That's why you can see marriages and children on your palm of your hands and in your astrological chart. Those types of things are destined no matter what you do. Okay? And as far as having wealth, in a nutshell, that is a destiny point. Are you meant for it or are you not? Okay? That's what it is. Some people are meant. And we can't get mad because we're not, you know? Anyways, I'm getting lost in philosophy here, and I'm so sorry. I am sorry. You know, Mercury retrograde's coming up. Are you ready for that one? Because I'm not. No, I don't even feel like I got out of the last one. Oh, boy. That explains why I got lost here, guys. Anyways, we're going to get back to what's coming for you. Oh, B, you enjoy that? Thank you, B. You're one of the few. I get so many comments where people are like, yakety, yak, yak, yak. Just do the reading. It's nice to get people that say, I like it. It's a hit or miss. You don't know who you're pleasing anymore. Thank you, B. So let's see what's coming for you. Oh, you got the heart, which is very much like the Two of Cups. All right, so you've got some love coming for you, some romance. Uh-oh, you got the moon, and honey, you went and got the ring. Okay. Well, your ships are going to come in. Look at that. Fast movement. You're moving into a commitment. You're moving into a relationship. Thank you so much, B. Thank you. Yeah, you're really moving into this beautiful connection. It's destined astrologically. Your moon sign. Oh, your moon sign is giving you some kind of a blessing. So look at where your moon is in your astrological chart and perhaps see where the moon is right now and like what track it's on. We're going into an energy where the moon's like, I want to give a relationship. I want to bless this connection. I want my person here, which is you, to have a commitment. So you are definitely on track for a relationship. However, it may not be the relationship you're looking for. I don't know. Don't come at me, come at the cards. I only say that because you got the Four of Cups. I could be wrong. But I feel like this is not the way you wanted this relationship to happen, or this is not the person you wanted it to happen with. I don't know. I don't know. Let's clarify it, though, because I want to be on point. Can I please have a card to tell me a fact about this relationship that's coming? Oh, okay. We got a fact. It's somebody that's sorry, my friends. It is someone that's coming in with, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry for whatever this person did. They're coming in with an apology. So this person is going to give you a promise that they're not going anywhere. And this is someone that feels like a best friend. Uh-oh. And now we got the twin flame down here, followed by the divine feminine energy. Uh-oh. Followed by dreams. Followed by a fresh start. Wow. Someone just quit smoking too. It could be somebody that just quit smoking. That could be a fact. I'm excited for you. Let's see. Excuse me. So the moon card comes out, okay, and it says this is about love and romance, intuition and psychic abilities. It stands for all of these things, but it reaches across the sky and it gives an influence. It influences the waters, the emotions. It admires love at all costs. And the moon is admired by everyone else. The moon does not quite live up to the brilliance of the sun. She is more watery in nature, and she is really wanting to be a star. To have recognition, think of the emotional sirens of the silver screen. Acting by intuition, by method, living by emotions as they are a part that they are playing in order to present some kind of a show. You know, this is like a show. The moon is playing a part in your life, and she's the star. And ironically, you have this star. You might also be the star of the show, if that means anything to you. It brings creativity. It can also create casualities, such as Marilyn Monroe. That doesn't make sense. This produces great creativity, but can also create casualities, such as Marilyn Monroe. Markers, maybe Mercury's already hitting me, but that makes no sense. Can you tell me what that means? Please, because I don't understand. That's literally, I read it perfectly. That's what it says. Make it make sense. Anyways, the moon brings emotional illumination. The moon, however, really flourishes in close proximity to the sun. Interesting. The moon entered in Taurus on March. Okay. So Taurus may have something to do with this. And you know, the energy of Taurus is marriage. Casualities means being calm in all things. Oh, well, thank you. Okay. Thank you. So then we're going to see 24. The heart. The form of happiness and love is simply drawn in my shape. This card represents your feelings and your emotions. I am your passions and your devotions. Just make sure no bad cards are around me, as I can spoil the fondness of this affection. Well, there's no bad cards. So, it is symbolic of love and a relationship. It's formed by two swans. The bird itself, the swan, is symbolic of courtly relationship, monogamy, and enduring love. The heart is always a card signifying beneficial emotions. Get this. To receive the combination of the heart and the ring promises love, luck, commitment, and marriage. Wow. Love, luck, commitment, and marriage. Well, you got it. This, quite frankly, speaks for itself. But if you want to know, because you want to know, the ring is a precious item. I bind in marriage and commitment. I bring harmony in unions as long as negative cards are afar. I am the contract and the promise in partnerships and ventures. I am the symbol of completion and the form of eternal devotion. The game of hope tells us that finding this ring will bring a reward. Here we see a ruby ring symbolizing commitment. In crystal lore, the ruby is a guarantee of economic stability. In some cultures, it was buried in the foundations of buildings to assure good fortune. This ring is a symbol of commitment and can speak of a contract being drawn up between two people, even business partners, but not with this card. But this ring is an object of value to those who wear it. Two things. You may get into a very good contract with someone that loves you that is not a relationship. This could be a very loving grandparent or mother or child or somebody that loves you and feels like your best friend and promises to be there, just like a lover. I promise to be there, and I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry I disrupted anything. I see the light, and I really want to be there for you. And that's a blessing. So in the cards, there could be a blessing on the way like that. For others, it could very well be an actual marriage. And you may go, I am so far away from a marriage, I don't even have a man yet. I don't even have a woman yet. Listen, the cards say that you're about to meet or become back in relationship with the one. All right? So this person's coming. I feel July is going to be a very prominent month. And both of these cards have the red. I think a ruby is the gemstone for the month of July. You're going to get a blessing in July, like this. The ship takes you on vacation. A business trip or vacation. You will need a suitcase for where I am going. Distance is what I'm known for. I am constantly in motion. Look at the cards next to me for the clues and cues to the changes I bring in your life's journey. A journey is to be embarked upon. There is a new horizon to be seen. In the original Game of Hope, here is where we have the first publication of the symbols of the Lenormand. It is indicated as a favorable journey as the traveler will be happily taken by his ship to the land of birds. This augurs well. In the Gilded Revere, we will see this card as like Peter Pan's flying ship, elaborate, taking us to new vistas, new landscapes. While the original card image may have been a ship, later decks have modified it to whatever the latest mode of long-distance transportation may be, such as a train or an airplane. It generally signifies distant travel in any manner. The nature of the journey will usually be pleasant and well favored, if I can talk, as a holiday. Depending as ever the cards that surrounded it. You guys may meet someone abroad, like that could be a thing. But I have to go back to my heart here. I got the I'm sorry card. I cannot ignore it. It's right there in the middle. It's boom. I clarified it. I do feel you're going to go on a trip with someone that you love that has apologized. I think they're going to propose to you on a trip. I'm sorry. And that message may not be for everybody, but that's what I see. It could very well be this person may propose to you on a boat. Maybe you're going to be the one doing the proposing. I don't know. But I do know this is happening.
I won.
Good job, honey. I'm almost done. I can't unsee what I saw. So, somehow, through all your sadness, there's some love that comes into your life, my friend. And you have been hurt beyond measure. You've been treated unfairly. Your heart may have been kicked around by many people. And it's just one of those hard days where that cloud is looming over you and it just won't go away. And that saying, boy, when it rains, it pours. And you're just like, can life ever get better? Please, just I need to know for my own sanity. Can life ever get any better? The answer in this deck is yes, it is going to get better. Actually, you need to get out of your funk. Get out of your funk. My best advice as your friend here on tarot and an advisor spiritually, get out there and dance. I know, call me crazy, call me stupid, I don't care. Call it ridiculous. I don't care if you're 75 years old. You need to dance. My grandma is 82 years old and she dances her little butt off. And she has a metal hip and a metal knee. And if that woman can dance, don't ever tell me you can't. And she has problems with her feet. Okay? You can dance. And you can be dancing all alone in your apartment, in your house. Dance. It's called somatic healing, my friends. It's a cheap, easy, no instructor needed form of somatic healing. Okay? If you want to do it with no knowledge of somatic healing, just dance, honey. It's healing. And you're going to feel so much better. You're going to get out of your mental, emotional depression of funk. Music is good for the soul. It carries vibrations. You want to hear positive music. Bob Marley, probably well known, positive. His music carries the certain amount of hertz and vibrations needed for healing and for mood lifting. Music is actually a medication. It's now a medication because I'm prescribing it. Music and dancing. It is the elixir that you need. It is the magical cup to get you out of your funk. If you are feeling low and down and that cloud is over you like Eeyore, you need to do it. You just need to do it. Get out of your funk, okay? Somatic healing. This tower hit, and it's going to hit, and it's going to hit them, and it hit you, and the tower sucks. Saturn sucks. We hate to say that. It happens. But you know what? This too shall pass. And that's the Six of Swords, the card of resolution. This too shall pass. Believe it. Better times are coming. And I know that this broke you. Whatever you're going through, maybe many things have broken you. And it's not your fault. But it is your responsibility to get up and fix it. So start by dancing. Start by getting whatever help you need and go places you need to go. You're free. You have permission to leave behind this weary world of sadness and go into, I'm not going to let it defeat me. You are given permission to go be happy. And I'm telling you, and you know, the cards don't lie. I don't know when this is going to happen. I never really saw a when. But this is a message of hope. This is a message of actually promise that what's in store for you via your astrology is a very happy, loving relationship. And the world can seem like a very good, different, happier place when you have a partner. All of a sudden, your problems aren't so big. When you have a partner, whoever this loving partner is, they're going to promise to be there with you. They're going to be your best friend. They're never going to turn their back on you. They're going to be here. They're going to be here no matter what. They're going to be by your side, and that's rare, and it's beautiful. Whoever this is, they're coming. You have a partner and they're going to be sorry. They just want to apologize for not being there. Maybe they're sorry for not being there sooner. Maybe they're sorry for leaving at a time when you needed them. I don't know, but they're back. They're coming back whenever this is. So if you're watching this, you are not meant to walk this earth alone for the rest of your life. You're not. Not in the cards. It's not in the cards for you. So I love you so much. Thank you for watching me. I know this reading was a little bit of a journey. It had some ups and some downs and some weird moments, but nonetheless, it was a good reading, and I hope you believe these cards because they're here for you, and they're telling you the truth. Get ready to be happy because bottom of the deck, 9 of Cups is coming. Wish fulfillment, my friends. Okay? You're not going to be under this dark cloud forever. All right? This too shall pass. Don't you forget it. Don't you dare forget it. Get out of your funk. It's a good day to put on the music and just dance. Somatic healing. Think of it as a prescription. You may not be a big dancer. I know I'm not. I very rarely dance, but it's good for you. It's somatic healing. And it's cheap and it's free. Okay? And you don't need an instructor. Just do it. I know. Go do it in your bathroom. Go do it in the kitchen. Whatever. I don't care. No one cares. And no one's watching you. Okay? Hope, unless you want to be watched. I mean, some of you, hey, go. Go do it in front of people. Go be watched. Power to those that, woohoo, they're out there dancing in front of people. Good for you guys. We are not Aquarians. We are not Leos. Leos and Aquarians love to dance and put on a show. Good for them. That's not everybody. Okay? It's not. I love you guys, and I'm out. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, this is a journey, not a destination. So you just keep swimming, my friend. And I'll see you in the next video. I am going to be answering questions, by the way. So if you guys want that, it's in the next video. I'll give you a chance to prepay, so you're first. If you want to put your question in your donation, just write it in there so I have it, or put it in the comments in case you're not there for the live and you could just tune in later. It's $15 a question, and you get 1 card in the bottom of the deck. You can get multiple cards. If you want a big reading today, if you've got $100 burning a hole in your pocket, if you spend $100 or more, you're going to get a bigger reading. You're going to get a lot of cards. So just FYI to those that maybe would like a bigger reading. But you don't have to, okay? It's just $15 a question. I love you guys, and I'll see you later. I hope I see you in the next live. I hope you guys are dancing until then. I'll talk to you later. Oh, B, where do we pay for this? Your website? Yes, you can pay at my website. Top left corner, you'll see 3 lines. Click it, and then you'll see services and a little arrow for a drop-down menu. And under that is donations. You can donate there. And if that's too difficult, like if you're having a struggle with that, you can go to Cash App if you have it. And my tag is below. Okay? So I will take care of you guys in the next video today. So get ready. Whoever pays first gets answers first. And whoever wants one, you've got plenty of time. So I'm going to go do my dishes. I'm going to feed my children. And I'm going to dance too. I'm going to dance with you guys. I'm going to put on some Bob Marley, and I'm going to dance. And I heard his grandson has a really good song. Oh, Karima, you're back. Yay. I'll be doing the readings after I cook everybody something. So I'll be back maybe in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I'll be back. But yeah, so I heard he has a grandson that has good music. So I'm going to go check him out because I've never heard his music. But I'm going to go listen to Bob Marley. I'm going to go do some dancing, cleaning of my kitchen, cooking, and I'll be back. I'll be back to do another live for you guys. Let's all report back and see how good we feel after we danced today. Because we want to get out from under this cloud, my friends. No more of this dark, gloomy Eeyore cloud. Happiness is coming for you, and I love you, and I hope I wasn't too harsh on you today. I only do it in love. But if I was too harsh, I apologize. And I love you guys, and I'll see you. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the bell icon. You guys have a good one. Leo Sayer, I think I can dance. Love my new therapy on your live show. Oh, thank you, B. Karima, I can't wait to see you. I've missed you. I want to know what's going on with you, girl. We need tea. You're like important to us now, your story. We're all curious. You might as well have your own reality show. We need to know what's happening. All right. I love you guys so much. I'll see you soon.